I talk about everything and anything, and I don't want to talk about that. And I can't cover it up with other stuff. Like I will think of I think about superheroes a lot, and I'll try and think of the Flash or Captain America's shield, and the image that they transpose by microwaves will just cover that up like a stamp, and it is horrible. It is horrible. Um, Description of the drawings. There's a drawing of the equipment, but it's not. It's like I'll show y'all. It's just a bunch of. It's a diagram, and you can't really tell what's on it. If y'all could just go to the site, patent for remote neural monitoring, you'll understand a lot more about this. Understanding this is very good because this is the worst part of it. This is the worst part of it. They could hurt me all day long and give me my thoughts, give me my moods. I could get through anything. This stuff, I mean, they can play with you like a rag doll. I'll even get through this stuff though too, but it's gonna take some doing, and I will have to block a lot of it because it's serious business. I will just. I don't know. Do I want to read the description of the drawings? I don't think that's necessary. I'm going to pass that up. Because it's all just figure 1, figure 2. Let me get down to the bottom. Let's see. But it's a lot of scientific information. It's like how many hertz they would send, and how they divide the signals and combine the signals. It's very complicated. It's a complicated apparatus, but if it was published in 1976, today they've probably got things that are very, very compact and a lot more advanced, so that the people who are using them don't have to. It's not that complicated for them. It probably works itself. I might read this. A profile of the entire brainwave emission pattern may be monitored, or selected areas of the brain may be observed in a single measurement simply by altering the scan angle and direction of the antennas. There is no physical contact between the subject and the monitoring apparatus. The computer also can determine a compensating waveform for transmission to the brain to alter the natural brain waves in a desired fashion. Mind control. The closed-loop compensating system permits instantaneous and continuous modification of the brainwave response pattern. So I guess if they start working on your brain and they start sending a certain frequency, they can build it up to make you feel worse and worse and worse and worse. And I've kind of had that feeling a lot lately. It's just I feel more depressed and more depressed and more depressed. We need to take supplements. We need to, block this stuff as much as we can with passive shielding and active shielding that buffers it. We have to, if you need to take it, I take Ativan, which really helps. I'll take a 1 milligram if I'm feeling really bad. Dr. Robert Duncan, he said that's a good medication. You don't want to go overboard with it, but Xanax or Ativan or Valium or something like that, it's basically dulling down your nervous system response. So it's very good against this stuff. But then again, be very careful with that kind of stuff, because if you take too much or something like that, and then you can feel more anxious not having it, and then then they'll get you more. Let's see what else I'm going to read in this. I might just read this and see if it has anything in it. I just really do recommend that y'all come to, go to the remote neural monitoring patent and just kind of read through this, look through what they do, because it is kind of like frequencies that travel to a TV set, over the airwaves and then produce an image. But it's like a bunch of different, it's like electromagnetic frequencies and waveforms that then are modulated, and then it's read out by a computer screen. It is science. It seems like science fiction, but it is at a ground level. I mean, people in their homes are using this on their neighbors and stuff. People need to know about that. We need to sound the trumpet on this, because my attackers, through my attacking, you know, the guy's gone from I like screwing around with this guy and a high pitched sound to like we need to go ahead and kill him tonight, and it's gotten very dark and serious. I don't want to scare anybody, any other target individuals, but that's what people like this do. They're not held accountable, so it's like if they're even going to start screwing around with somebody with something like this, they're going to eventually go further and further, because that's the type of people they are. If they're not held accountable, they're just going to make up something and keep going further and further and further. And that's just, I've heard it in every situation, and in my situation, it's proven true. And so we've just got to be aware of that, you know, we've got to stop this as soon as possible, because even if it seems like, oh, you know, well, it's just a little bit of harassment. And some people may not have as many connections as some stalkers, so don't get scared. You may have some people who have a set thing, but a lot of these guys have connections where, you know, they're getting people who have underground weapons to come and help them and stuff like that. So we've got to be very aware of that. And I don't even think, you know, the DoD and the Air Force, they do want to research this stuff, but I even think if they knew some of the horror stories and some of the horror tortures, even they would be like, wait, this isn't what we wanted. But what has happened is it's just too far gone, and people can't stop it. So we've got to get information out where people will be like, well, there's information out, people are aware of it, so we can stop it. We have to stop it because everybody's going to get in trouble. So we've got to push it. We got to push, and we got to get these weapons out of these people's hands. That's like one of the only things, like, I mean, because in court cases, I'm going to get a public defender, but the longer these people have carte blanche to do whatever they want, the darker it's going to get. So that's something I've learned in my case and other people's cases. And I don't want to scare anybody. Like, I really don't want to scare anybody. But if I'm looking at my situation, like, I am the most open book kind of guy that you could get. I love my family. I just want to have a regular job. I haven't done anything like evil or violent in my life. Like, I really haven't. But these people are they're just like going to the ends of the earth to make it seem like they've got to, you know, do whatever to me. Let me read this. It is to be noted that the configuration, and I know that's in every case of target individuals. You know, they make up stuff about us, but that's a dangerous thing, because it can get on its own feet, and it can fly away. It's like you make up stuff about people, you get people driving around harassing them, nobody knows what's going on, and it can take off. It can take off to places where, you know, where we don't want to go. It is to be noted that the configuration described is one of many possibilities which may be formulated without departing from the spirit of my invention. Transmitters can be monostatic or bistatic. They also can be single, dual, or multiple frequency devices. The transmitted signal can be continuous wave, pulse, FM, or any combination of these, as well as other transmission forms. Typical operating frequencies for the transmitters range from 1 MHz to 40 GHz, but may be altered to suit the particular function being monitored and the characteristics of the specific subject. So that's like, it can go through a lot of frequencies to match your frequency, and to, you know, play around with your frequency. Scary. Okay, the individual components of the system for monitoring and controlling brainwave activity may be of conventional type commonly employed in radar systems. And that's my theory, guys. I've studied a lot about over-the-horizon radar. Some people think it's coming from satellites. I think the main delivery mechanism used is over-the-horizon radar. I think they do jump to satellites if you get very far away. And if they can't really get you on the over-horizon radar, but I think that's their main thing. If they can get around you, or even remotely in the same city, I think over-the-horizon radar is the main thing they use. And that's my theory. I don't hear a lot of targeted individuals talking about it, and it kind of, I'm like, we need to really look into that, because everybody's like, oh, drones or satellites or cell phones or cell phone towers and stuff like that. but there are things that submarines have used before, and that the military has used before. Over the horizon radar, which is very, very specific to its target and it's accurate. And this is just me reading about it. I haven't really seen it. Wish I could. I wish I could get my hands on some of this equipment, because then I'd know a lot more. Various subassemblies of the brainwave monitoring and control apparatus may be added, substituted, or combined. Thus, separate antennas or a single multi-mode antenna may be used for transmission and reception. Additional displays and computers may be added to present and analyze select components of the monitored brainwaves. I don't know how many monitors this guy has in his house. He could have a monitor for like the words that I'm thinking out, a monitor for what I'm visually thinking. He could have a monitor for visual stuff that that he's saving to microwave back. I'm not sure, because the longer they build up, the more equipment they're going to get. So he could have like 4 monitors for the remote neural monitoring stuff, and it could all be for specific purposes. It's very, very scary stuff. And I don't want to scare y'all, but just we have to be aware no matter what. We have to be aware, and it is something that you sometimes want to stick your head in the sand, but it's not going to help me to do that anymore. They know that they know I'm getting a lot of information out to you guys. They know I'm helping. They know I'm not stupid. So, I don't know. I think that you might as well speak out, because I've not talked to them. I haven't verbally spoken to them in a month and a week, and it's gotten way darker than it's been the whole time. So a victim who doesn't speak out almost gets it worse, I've seen. I'm not going to talk to him, because I've been going for so long, and I just want to see what happens the longer I go. But I've seen how this guy can manipulate, lies and lie to people a lot more when I'm not, saying, hey, look, this is me, and I'm speaking and I'm cognitively representing myself with verbal speech. So a victim who does stay silent, and that goes for like out in society. If we stay silent, the more these people will just lie. They'll lie and do whatever they want. Because it is. I mean, it's about false flagging people. It's about, seeing how if they can get a good person, false flag them and make them look real bad. I mean, that's part of it. That's the challenge to some of these people. So be very aware of that. And I'm aware of it by talking to all you targeted individuals. Because I have yet to meet a targeted individual who is like, like a killer person or a dangerous person or something like that. I've yet to. I haven't met him in any conference call, and anybody that I've talked to on the side. They're all really good people. Fallible. Like, I know mistakes that we all make, but I've yet to meet anybody who's like a terrorist or something like that. And I don't think I ever will. Okay. Modulation of the interference signal retransmitted by the brain may be by amplitude. May be of amplitude, frequency, and or phase. And my friend just sent me, he's in the hospital. I may need to go pick him up. Okay, let's pray for him. Even though y'all don't know him, he's been getting, like when he was hanging out with me recently, he got hit. He started getting hit harder. I think he was being hit. I think he was a targeted individual even before we started hanging out. But he has been getting hit very, very hard. So pray for him, like I'm gonna help him out, like, and we are both like right by each other, so we can like look at our situations and maybe build something to fight back, like not build equipment, but build like our information. God, it just really worries me. I just feel like it makes me feel like they just target everybody around me. As will be appreciated by those familiar with the art, apparatus and method of the subject invention has numerous uses. Oh, God, I want to throw up. I really want to throw up. After I read that, I physically wanted to throw up. Not from microwaves or anything like that, but from, just the disgustingness of that. I want to go ahead and read that again so we can all be sickened and angry. As will be appreciated by those